Once upon a time, Jesus told a story to illustrate the kingdom of heaven. He said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding feast for his son. The king sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. Then the king sent more servants and said, 'Tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and fattened cattle have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet.' But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, 'The wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. So go to the street corners and invite anyone you find to the banquet.' So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, both good and bad, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. He asked, 'How did you get in here without wedding clothes, friend?' The man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, 'Tie his hand and foot, and throw him outside, into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen.'" In this parable, Jesus used the story of a wedding feast to convey a deeper spiritual truth. The king represents God, and the wedding feast symbolizes the kingdom of heaven. The initial guests who refused to come represent the people of Israel who rejected Jesus and his message. The king's invitation to everyone on the streets signifies the extension of God's invitation to all people, regardless of their background or past. The man without wedding clothes represents those who try to enter the kingdom of heaven without being properly prepared or without accepting God's righteousness. The wedding clothes symbolize the righteousness that comes from accepting Jesus and living according to God's ways. The key takeaway from this parable is that God's invitation to join his kingdom is open to everyone, but it requires a genuine acceptance and preparation. It is not enough to simply be invited. One must also be ready and willing to embrace the righteousness that God provides. This parable also highlights the importance of responding to God's call with sincerity and commitment. It serves as a reminder that while God's grace is freely given, it also calls for a transformation in our lives. We are encouraged to examine our hearts and ensure that we are not merely going through the motions, but truly living in accordance with God's will. In essence, the parable of the wedding feast teaches us about the inclusivity of God's kingdom, the necessity of genuine faith, and the consequences of neglecting or rejecting God's invitation. It challenges us to reflect on our own spiritual readiness and to embrace the transformative power of God's grace in our lives. May God give us the grace to live for Him and to live in readiness of His second coming. Amen. Many thanks for watching. Please like and share this video. Shalom.